So good evening and welcome to the Kennebec Valley Chamber of Commerce Kennebec Leadership Institute graduation for 2020. I am Katie Doherty, the President and CEO of the Chamber. Thank you for joining us to help celebrate our graduates. At this time, I would also like to thank our sponsor for our KLI program, who has been a supporter of this program for many years, Kennebec Savings Bank. Tonight, we celebrate the graduation of the 33rd class of Kennebec Leadership Institute, also known as a Business Community Leadership Development Program. Requiring a commitment of over 80 hours of training time, the curriculum is divided over three major components: leadership skill building, leadership experiences, and community panels. The class of 2020 this year was made up of 13 students with various different industries and backgrounds. The class has been meeting since the beginning of September on a weekly basis with our facilitator, Jamie Morin. This year, as we all know, has been a year like no other. We were happy that we were able to still offer the course, just in a hybrid model. Even though this year's class structure was a little different than past years, I commend the class and Jamie for adapting. I am also a graduate of the KLI program, and I remember the in-depth conversations and the wealth of knowledge I received throughout the course. So I have a few pointers for the class. Keep your notes. Refer back to them. They will come in handy and give you a fresh look on things when you need one. And secondly, stay in touch with your classmates. I still talk with some of my classmates today. Your classmates will be a great resource for you as you continue in your professional careers. I would also like to take this time to thank Jamie, our facilitator, for helping develop this class to be leaders and in continuing years to help develop a strong Kennebec Valley full of leaders. You did a great job this year adapting and changing the content to be informational and interactive, especially when we switched to the online platform. With that, I would like to welcome Jamie Morin, our facilitator, to share with you a recap of this year's class and introduce our graduates.
Hi, as Katie said, I'm Jamie Morin. I'm the faculty and facilitator for the Kennebec Leadership Institute, and I'm the owner and president of Synchrony Point Coaching and Consulting. Welcome, and thank you for joining us this evening. As Katie mentioned, the Kennebec Leadership Institute offers participants a unique learning experience which combines a variety of components. One is the classroom-based workshops on core leadership competencies. And she mentioned the panel discussions with community leaders on a range of topics. This year's were government, education, and manufacturing and distribution. A class design community service project is a key component, and a class design graduation presentation, which you're about to experience. Activities and exercises designed to foster peer-to-peer learning, and then a structured process for interaction and learning between participants and their sponsors, who are often their managers. This is a really important element of the design because research shows that the #1 factor in building an employee's skills is the involvement and interest of their direct supervisor. Now in its 33rd year and its second year with a new curriculum, KLI 2020, like nearly everything in 2020, had to adapt. The Chamber accepted fewer students in order to support social distancing. They developed and implemented safety protocols, and they worked with our sponsor, Kennebec Savings Bank, to ensure that we could meet safely in person. And on September 8th, we held our day-long kickoff session. We had to adapt the learning process. We held fewer small group and pair discussions and activities than we normally do. We arranged tables in traditional classroom format, well spaced for safety, rather than set up in circles for more full engagement. We wore masks when we were moving about. We conducted the community panels via Zoom, the hybrid model that Katie mentioned, rather than in the field. And we sanitized when we were in the classroom. By the first November session, we had moved our in-person workshops to Zoom, and we were fully virtual due to the increase in COVID cases. And though we all missed the in-person contact, there were benefits to this change. We were able to capitalize on relationships that were forming among the class and take full advantage of Zoom's breakout rooms to safely and significantly increase the level of small group discussion and peer-to-peer learning. As they did at every stage, the class adapted. The group fully engaged with the content and the experience of learning together, whether we were in person or on Zoom. I come away impressed by the competency, commitment, and compassion of this group of leaders. As they join the more than 450 alumni before them, I am confident that they stand ready to meet the demands, challenges, and opportunities in the dynamic business and community life of the Kennebec Valley. And now I have the pleasure of introducing Johnny Swan, class participant and MC for the KLI Class of 2020's graduation presentation. Johnny, I'm going to turn things over to you and get ready to share my screen.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jamie. Good evening, everyone. Oh, there we go. All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Johnny Swan, and I am a real estate agent at Brookwood Realty in Manchester. And I'm also a member of Synergy. And for those of you who don't know much about Synergy, it's a group of like-minded business professionals in the greater Kennebec Valley. And we're always looking for new people. So if anyone has any interest in Synergy or wants to learn more about it, feel free to reach out. But on behalf of this wonderful group of individuals that I've been lucky enough to work with and get to know a bit on a personal level over the last 14 weeks, as well as a professional level, we would like to thank you all so much for joining us for the Kennebec Leadership Institute Class of 2020's graduation. We will be remembered not only as the 33rd class of this wonderful program, but we also get the distinct pleasure of being known as the COVID class. Isn't that just so delightful? Regardless of the challenges that C word has presented to us, our class has really come together and adapted to these trying times. A virtual professional setting is something that has become the norm for so many people recently. While many of us would have preferred to connect in person, we were still able to connect on a personal level and really build a sense of camaraderie via Zoom. Whether it was learning about each other's families, careers, or figuring out who it was that we had for mutual connections, we certainly have had our fair share of laughs and good times together along the way of this unique and powerful learning journey. I can promise you that we learned so much more though. So please, if I could ask everyone in this group to remain muted until it is your turn to speak, try to eliminate screaming pets and possibly children for that matter, if they insist. We will begin by having everyone in the group introduce themselves. Oh, one last thing. I am an S. Don't worry, you'll learn about the significance of this very soon. Now it's time to meet the Kennebec Leadership Institute's Class of 2020.
Hi, I'm Alexandra Fabian. I'm the Marketing and Business Development Specialist at KV Federal Credit Union, and I'm a DI.
Good evening, I'm Kelly Glidden. I'm a Workforce Development Specialist with New Ventures Maine, and I'm a C.
Hello, I am Kayla Tracy. I am the Event and Membership Director at the Kennebec Valley Chamber, and I am an IS.
Good evening, I'm Julie Ann Smith. I'm the Executive Director of Maine Farm Bureau Association, and I am a DC.
Hello, I am Josh Lilly. I'm a jewelry consultant and manager in training at Days Jewelers in Augusta, and my letter is SI.
Good evening, my name is Tasha Rewa, and I am the Adult Day Manager for Spectrum Generations, and I am a CS.
Evening, my name is Eileen Robinson, and I am the Finance Director at the University of Maine at Augusta, and I am an ID.
Good evening, my name is Kristen Grant. I am the Executive Administration Manager at Kennebec Savings Bank, and I am an SC.
Hello, my name is Jen McCarthy. I'm a Category Manager at Performance Food Service North Center, and I'm a CD.
Good evening, my name is Ben Weymouth. I'm the IT Manager at Kennebec Savings Bank, and I am an SI.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tanner Kelliter. I'm the IT Operations Manager at the University of Maine at Augusta, and I am an SC.
Good evening, my name is Natasha Fate, and I am the Branch Operations Manager at Kennebec Savings Bank, and I am a C.
All right, awesome group of classmates right there. Now it's time to kick off our series of brief presentations on the various topics that we covered throughout our class. In between each presentation, I will be reading a quote that you'll see displayed on the screen that was selected by each presenter that relates to their subject matter. And then they will share key points of what we learned with everyone. Up first, we have Alexandra Fabian speaking about everything DISC so that you can understand what all of these letters are that we've been throwing at you guys. Alexandra?
So like Johnny said, you're probably wondering what all the DISCs are that we referenced in our introductions. They are our DISC profiles. In the chart below, you can see how our class is comprised. DISC is a personal assessment tool used by more than 1 million people every year to help improve teamwork, communication, and productivity in the workplace. Each of us took the DISC assessment before attending our first day of class and have each used the results to better understand ourselves, our colleagues, and our families. So what does DISC mean? DISC is an acronym that stands for the 4 main personality profiles described in the DISC model. D, dominance, I, influence, S, steadiness, and C, conscientiousness. People with D personalities tend to be confident and place an emphasis on accomplishing bottom line results. People with I personalities tend to be more open and place an emphasis on relationships and influencing or persuading others. People with S personalities tend to be dependable and place emphasis on cooperation and sincerity. People with C personalities tend to place the emphasis on quality, accuracy, expertise, and competency. Overall, this assessment has allowed us to raise self-awareness, improve teamwork, make conflicts result in a more productive and positive outcome. I want to thank KV Federal Credit Union, the Chamber, Jamie, and my classmates for the opportunity to grow with the KLI program.
All right, now that we have all those letters situated, let's move on to the next topic. Emotional intelligence is a way of recognizing, understanding, and choosing how we think, feel, and act. It shapes our interactions with others and our understanding of ourselves. It defines how and what we learn. It allows us to set priorities. It determines the majority of our daily actions. Research suggests it is responsible for as much as 80% of the success in our lives. Jay Friedman. Up next, speaking about emotional intelligence, we have Kelly Glidden.
Thank you, Johnny. Emotional intelligence refers to the ability to identify and manage one's own emotions as well as the emotions of others. We learned that as leaders, emotional intelligence is a key component of success, along with cognitive ability and technical skills. Emotional intelligence allows us to recognize our own strengths and challenges and those of others, which in turn gives us the ability to bring out the best in the people we lead. In my own experience, I know I've had times when I've been frustrated with a coworker until I got to know them better and learned more about their working style. Being able to understand why they were doing things the way they were didn't always mean I agreed, but it made it easier to manage my own feelings around it. We learned in this class that being able to find ways to engage with and motivate others is one of the things that makes the difference between being a manager and being a leader. Emotional intelligence is also key to many of the other concepts that we've studied, such as building trust, influencing others, and managing conflict. Emotional intelligence can help you assess the best approach to use with the people involved and to draw on different skills and strategies depending on the situation. It is difficult to be a strong communicator or to network effectively if you lack awareness of yourself and your audience. Perhaps most importantly, the self-awareness that comes from emotional intelligence helps you to grow as a person and a leader by recognizing the things you do well and the areas that you might need to work on. I would like to thank New Ventures Maine and the Chamber for giving me this opportunity to participate in KLI and have the chance to reflect on my own strengths and to go forward with a better idea of who I am as a leader. Thank you.
The art of communication is the language of leadership. James Humes. Speaking on the topic of communication skills, up next we have Kayla Tracy.
Thanks, Johnny. During the class, we learned how important it is to have effective communication skills. Being a good communicator is a learned skill, and it's not just a special talent. Communication isn't just what you say, and word choice is only 7% of this. Your tone and body language is actually speaking more than the words that you physically say. Different tones also communicate different meanings too. So pitch and tone will communicate emotion, force and volume of your voice will communicate enthusiasm and confidence, and speed will communicate nervousness and control. So if you hear our voices cracking or if we're talking a little fast, we might just be a little nervous, but I promise you it would have been much worse if we were meeting in person and going face to face. So thanks for joining us regardless. It's easy to forget about the do's and don'ts of communication when we're all super busy, but effective communication takes being a good listener as well. It's important not to interrupt, rush people, and cross your arms when you're speaking to them. And believe it or not, covering your face or your mouth is frowned upon. So I think that they made this rule before the pandemic, so you have my permission to be exempt from this, but please wear your mask in the meantime so we can get out of this. Also, always do your best to pay attention, respond, and face who you're speaking to. It does really go a long way. And as a friendly reminder that we forget about in the virtual world a lot is try not to be distracted. Johnny did a good job of reminding us at the beginning of all the distracting things that can happen during Zoom, but we still need to watch out for them when we communicate face-to-face as well when we do get to that point. Another topic that was really important to me personally and my professional career is choosing my forms of communication. So let's face it, we're all busy. None of us have any extra time. So let's all try to remember what meetings could have been emails and what emails should have been phone calls. So before I hand this back to Johnny, I'd just like to thank my employer in the Kennebec Valley Chamber, Jamie, and our sponsors for investing in me to further develop my leadership skills in participating in this program. I'm extremely excited and proud to be part of this network. Thank you.
All right, as your MC, I'm hoping I can keep on communicating clearly with you guys here tonight. All right, so next, networking is not about hunting. It is about farming. It's about cultivating relationships. You'll be a better networker if you remember that. Ivan Mister. Speaking on the topic of networking skills and our government panel that we held, up next, Julie Ann Smith.
Thank you, Johnny. In our second week of class, we had the opportunity to participate in a panel discussion with government leaders via Zoom. The government panel has historically been one of the highlights of the program, and the panel this year held fast to that tradition, despite not being held in person. We were honored to have two of Kennebec Valley's state senators, Senator Matt Pouliot of Augusta, who represents District 15, and now former Senator Shenna Bellows of Manchester, who was recently elected Maine's first female Secretary of State. Alongside our distinguished senators, we also had the honor of Representative Charlotte Warren of Hollowell and Winthrop Town Council's chair, Sarah Fuller. Each of these elected officials offered great insight into what inspired them to run for office and their experiences with serving constituents. The panelists also touched upon the importance of networking in their roles as public servants. And following the panel discussion, our class had the opportunity to practice our own networking skills. Utilizing the Zoom breakout rooms, we were able to partner with different class colleagues for several rounds of speed networking. This gave us the chance to practice and refine the story we want to share about ourselves, as well as listening to others. I will share that prior to participating in the speed networking exercise, I was very nervous about attending networking events. As the executive director of Maine Farm Bureau, I wasn't sure our organization had much to offer to anyone outside of the agriculture industry. But having the opportunity to talk with my classmates and learn about their industries and the ways our organizations overlapped, I was able to not only build confidence in my networking skills, I was also able to see a greater value of our association to the Kennebec Valley community. With this newfound confidence, I attended the Kennebec Valley Chamber of Commerce September After Hours event. We were fortunate that not as many COVID limitations were in place at that time, and the event was able to be held in person at the Augusta Country Club. Senator Bellows, who we'd recently just seen on our government panel, was also at the event, and I had the opportunity to engage in a conversation with her that might not have otherwise happened. Typically, my conversations with Senator Bellows were limited to legislative bills, but in this informal setting, we were able to talk about our personal lives. Senator Bellows asked about my son, who had served as a page for her in 2019. She then asked if I would allow her to use a picture from that day in her campaign flyer. I agreed to agree. I'm not sure if outside of that informal contact, Senator Bellows would have asked. It certainly would not have happened at the State House. As a lobbyist, I have been trained to hunt, to find my target and pursue it. But through the Kennebec Leadership Institute, I've learned that, as a quote says, networking is not about hunting. It is about farming. It is about cultivating relationships. And cultivating relationships with government officials, both elected and appointed, is critical to every leader's ability to manage their organization. I am so grateful to have had the opportunity to participate in KLI. I learned so much from each one of my amazing classmates, and I'm especially grateful to my learning partner, Jen. I would like to thank Maine Farm Bureau for supporting my participation in KLI, and to the Kennebec Valley Chamber of Commerce and their Board of Directors for continuing to support such an important contribution to the future leaders of Maine.
Leadership is about making others better as a result of your presence and making sure that impact lasts in your absence. Cheryl Sandberg. Now speaking on the topic of leadership presence, and it's not too late to go see him for your Christmas shopping needs up at Days Jewelers, we have Josh Lilly.
Thank you, Johnny, not only for introducing me, but the plug as well. Back to the presentation. During KLI, we talked about many aspects of what makes a great leader. In this part of the presentation, I will discuss leadership presence. I believe leadership presence can be broken down to 3 parts. Number 1, an internal state of mind. We also learned in KLI, according to Peter Anderton, there are only 2 rules. 1, it's not about you, and 2, it's all about you. As confusing as that may be, we as leaders must remember we can only affect change internally before we try to lead others. As leaders, we must adapt to what we believe internally to lay good foundations for our teams. Number 2, the ability to connect authentically with others. Connecting with others requires more than exchanging information. It is making sure that that information is delivered successfully to the intended audience. It is crucial to know your audience and how they prefer to be connected with. Knowing how to do this and doing it honestly will increase your connections with others. One of the things that we did during KLI is we took our DISC assessment test, and that has helped along those lines of being able to see how others like to be communicated with and understanding how they prefer it. Number 3, engaging minds to achieve a common goal. How to engage others to reach for a common goal allows everyone to buy in. This allows everyone to take something more than a paycheck home. There's a sense of common goals that helps build on successes and learning from failures. As leaders, we can build paths for our teams to focus and enjoy the journey. These are just 3 steps that I believe are building blocks for anyone to grow their leadership presence. By concentrating on these 3 elements daily, it will ensure you to bring success to your team in the future. KLI has taught me many things, but the biggest takeaway for me is to be more internal on how I engage with my team. Thank you to the Kennebec Valley Chamber, to Days Jewelers, my manager Liz Hebert, and my Augusta team for the support along this journey. Thank you.
Great leaders build trust and collaboration while focusing on developing people's capabilities rather than focusing on their limitations. James Humes. Up next, and talking to us about building trust, we have Tarsha Riwa.
Building trust is one of the most important foundations of being a great leader and leading an effective team. Building trust as a leader takes hard work, commitment, and time. And some of the ways to achieve that goal are to create a positive relationship with your team. Show your coworkers and your team respect. Have an open communication with your team. Set clear expectations. Make yourself available as a leader and listen to your team. Be dependable, be consistent, be honest, and build accountability. Set clear expectations. Show your team you trust your own boss, but most importantly, trust your team. In the end, results of that will be that you have a team that is committed to the company's goals, and that team will work hard to achieve those goals. One example in my KLI experience of building trust was when we did our service project and we packed meals for homebound seniors with food insecurities. The Meals on Wheels team at Spectrum Generation, which is made up of staff and volunteers, they stayed dedicated to cooking, packing, and delivering thousands of meals to these seniors each week. The Meals on Wheels team has earned the trust of these people they serve by staying committed to that goal. I have really enjoyed my time here at KLI and learned so much that I will use in my current role and in future roles. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Chamber for this great experience and also to thank my agency for allowing me this opportunity.
We all need people who will give us feedback. That's how we improve. Bill Gates. Now speaking on providing and receiving powerful feedback, Eileen Robinson.
As Bill Gates said, we need people to give us feedback in order to improve. So what is feedback? Feedback is a reaction or a response to a particular process or activity intended to call attention to a situation, issue, or potential problem. It can be positive or constructive. The key to providing powerful feedback is maintaining a spirit of mutual respect and learning. Giving and receiving feedback is an essential leadership skill necessary to build respectful and effective workplace teams that drive the mission of the organization forward. Feedback should be delivered in a manner that helps the person receiving it better meet expectations and be successful. The theme must be learning, not blame. Therefore, it's important to deliver feedback using non-confrontational language that is specific to the situation, describes the behavior observed, and the impact of that behavior. The method I just described is a technique the class learned called the Situation Behavior Impact, or SBI, feedback model. Powerful feedback is given by using the SBI model in conjunction with the use of I statements to avoid making the receiver feel attacked. The facts need to be stated clearly without assumptions or interpretation of the listener's motives. Effective positive feedback should increase the sense of shared purpose and belonging, while effective constructive feedback should offer the person a clear path to get back on track. A good leader does not only know how to deliver feedback, but also knows how to receive it. When receiving feedback, it is important to listen calmly to what is being said without putting up a wall. Ask for clarification if something is unclear. Acknowledge the other person's point of view by putting yourself in their proverbial shoes. Offer additional information about the situation in a clarifying, non-defensive way. Welcome future support by asking how the situation should be handled next time. And finally, thank the speaker when they are finished for letting you know their expectations. When a leader graciously receives feedback from a manager, colleague, or staff member, they create limitless opportunities to grow. Strong leaders encourage feedback, keeping in mind that beyond learning potential, it is an integral part of building trust with direct reports, peers, and managers alike. I'd like to take a moment to thank my supervisor, Buster Neal, for his ongoing support, as well as the Chamber of Commerce and my employer, the University of Maine at Augusta, the opportunity to take part in the Kennebec Leadership Institute, where I've been able to develop more leadership skills. Thank you.
Dialogue is the most effective way of resolving conflict. Dalai Lama. Now speaking on conflict management, our class scribe herself, Kristen Grant.
Thank you, Johnny. Conflict management, or the clash of ideas and opinions, is one of the most feared areas of management, especially for new managers. I know for me personally, as a new manager, this was one of the scariest components of stepping into my role, and is still one of the most intimidating pieces of my job that I deal with today. The most challenging part of conflict is the human element, the fear of hurting feelings, and the thought of being disliked for challenging ideas or opinions. What is needed when approaching the concept of conflict is a reframing of the mind, which will reframe your thoughts to approach conflict as an opportunity to create dialogue and potentially end up in a more productive and positive place as a result. We experience conflict daily. It feels like now in 2020 more than ever. These conflicts can be differences in opinions between people, differences in goals on a team project, or differences in the process in which a job gets done. To resolve conflicts, managers and people should take a step back from the automatic thought and response in order to reframe their ideas into a productive response. By defining the issue and identifying the root cause of the conflict, leaders can take steps to manage conflict. These steps can include collaborating, compromising, accommodating, and most importantly, following up. The earlier steps lay out strategies to remove emotions and stick to the facts. Adding in the follow-up softens the human emotion element and allows you as the manager the ability and time to develop a better action plan to be executed by all parties once emotions are more leveled. The best way to manage conflict is to manage your own emotions, stick to the facts, listen to the other side, and develop a clear, decisive plan to move forward. As a new manager, I know I am thankful to have these skills because, as I said, conflict management still, despite all of its challenges, is one of the most intimidating pieces in the workplace. Finally, I just would like to take a moment to thank my sponsor, Andrew Silsby and Kennebec Savings Bank, as well as the Chamber for giving us this opportunity to learn so much through KLI, especially in this challenging year.
Leadership is the capacity to influence others through inspiration motivated by passion, generated by vision, produced by a conviction, ignited by a purpose. Miles Monroe. Up next, speaking about the ability to influence, Jen McCarthy.
Thank you, Johnny. Every day, employees come to work and choose how much or how little to do. While intimidation and ruling with the iron fist is the most widely used way to influence, it's also hands down the most ineffective. So how do we motivate? How do we influence our team members to choose to put in 100%? We build a connection. By forming a connection, we can better understand our team's values, motivations, and needs. I remember when Alan Ryan, the founder of North Center, after having sold the company to PFG, sent me a handwritten note to congratulate me on a promotion. He formed a connection that has lasted 20 years and counting. We as humans are hardwired to want to connect. I know all the introverts in the virtual room are thinking, nope, but it's true. Introverts just want that group they connect with to be smaller, while the extroverts think of a large group of strangers as friends they just haven't met. We need to share our passions, share your drive. It's been proven that what we put out, the people around us feel and even will emulate. Your passion will start to become their passion. Share your positivity. I think we all agree bad vibes are toxic to a team. The more positive the leadership team is, the more positive the employees will be. We establish credibility. Do what you say you're going to do. Just by following through, you gain credibility, and over time, the more you follow through, the more influencing power you have. Go one step further and take the time to learn what people do. Experience firsthand how all facets of the company intertwine. In doing this, it will speak to your skill set and knowledge. Take the time to be a positive, influential leader. Your team will thank you for it. And thank you to the leadership team at Performance Food Service North Center and the Chamber for this unique opportunity to enhance my leadership presence.
If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. Maya Angelou. Up next to speak about unconscious bias, one of the few guys who is excited to see that a little bit of snow is probably in our forecast, Ben Weymouth.
Thanks, Johnny. That's absolutely correct. What is unconscious bias? Unconscious bias can be defined as an underlying attitude or stereotype that can be attributed to another person or group that affects how they are understood or engaged with. For me, I recognize when driving, I unconsciously judge older single cab pickups as slow drivers, especially those with caps. I often get ready to pass them before seeing if they are doing the speed limit. Learning about unconscious bias has helped me understand that I need to evaluate a situation or person first before making a decision. There are 12 types of unconscious bias, but we'll focus on 3 that made the most impact to me. The first is affinity bias. Affinity bias is the tendency to connect with people who share similar interests, experiences, and backgrounds. This is important to keep in mind when hiring. Diversity is important in a team environment and can bring different experiences and viewpoints. The second is confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is the inclination to draw a conclusion about a person or situation based on your own personal beliefs or desires rather than on merit. Again, important in hiring. Standardizing questions based on skill will give each candidate a chance to stand out. The third is attribution bias. Attribution bias is a situation where a person tries to make sense or judge behavior based on prior observations and interactions with someone that can cloud their perception of them. It's important not to make assumptions about situations or people without knowing the entire situation. In summary, it's important to recognize that we all have unconscious bias. Identifying and understanding these biases will help us grow as leaders and enhance our workplaces. I'd like to thank the Kennebec Valley Chamber, sponsors, and classmates for the opportunity to be a part of the KLI Class of 2020. Thank you. Back to you, Johnny.
If you had to identify in one word the reason why the human race has not achieved and never will achieve its full potential, that word would be meetings. Tanner Kelleter is here to discuss with us running effective meetings. Tanner?
Great. Thank you, Johnny. So we also have a cartoon on the screen here from the New Yorker, and we have a person at the front of the table saying, "Today's meeting will be endless with a half-hour break for lunch." Now, I will probably not take a half hour here, and we'll just dive right in. Why is this important? The cartoon and the quote are really not uncommon perceptions about meetings. And when we think about how managers spend over half of their workday in meetings, and then also when surveyed report that half of that time is also wasted, we really recognize how important it is that we make those meetings effective. So in KLI, we learned the 3 basic steps to running an effective meeting, and those are planning, conducting, and then following through. And so let's just take a quick look at each. In the planning stage, and here we really need to spend about half as much time in this preparation phase as the meeting itself. And here we're answering the why, the what, and the who. Why are we having this meeting? What are we looking to accomplish? And then based on those, who needs to attend, who's making decisions, and who needs to be informed. And now when we move into actually having the meeting, obviously we've prepared and we have an agenda. We need to follow that agenda. And we can assign roles within that meeting to help move the meeting along and keep it on task. So we have facilitators, we have timekeepers, we have note takers. And then as we come to the close of the meeting, we want to summarize with our conclusions, any agreements we made, and then review those action items before ending the meeting. After the meeting, of course, in the final phase, we're following through on those commitments that we made. We're distributing meeting notes, and we're following up on action items. So, these are really basic steps. Obviously, in class, we dove in much further to each one of them. And I've really appreciated being able to immediately apply these in the work at the University of Maine at Augusta. So thank you everyone for being here tonight. I really thank the Chamber and all the sponsors for the opportunity to participate in KLI, and thank you for helping me get involved in my community. Back to you, Johnny.
Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. Henry Ford. Now speaking about building a positive team environment and a little on our community service project as well, our last class presenter of the evening, Natasha Fate.
Thanks, Johnny. Creating and maintaining a positive team environment is critical for the success of any team or business. There are 4 crucial steps that help establish a positive team environment. Step 1, become acquainted with one another. Step 2, Develop a shared understanding of one another's priorities or degree of commitment regarding participation on the team. Step 3, share expectations regarding what the team should try to achieve. And finally, step 4, begin crafting what will be expected of team members and the team leader. Our KLI class naturally followed these 4 steps to help understand one another, create a safe space to support each other, and to plan and carry out a community service project. In the beginning of our KLI class, a lot of us did not know one another. With those first day of class jitters, we were quickly partnered with learning partners and given introductory exercises that allowed us to get to know each other better. We then became paired into groups based upon our similar DISC personality types, and then finally found ourselves in groups with a variety of DISC personality types. These simple but impactful activities allowed us to build a foundation of respect for one another and give us insight on how we could collectively work together throughout the KLI program. Moving through the curriculum, we developed a mutual understanding that we were not only going through the KLI program to enhance our leadership skills, but to also become more involved with our community and combine our talents and energies to successfully complete a community service project. By the time we reached the planning phase of our community service project, it became clear that food insecurity was a top priority for our class. Our class recognized that with these unprecedented times, it had magnified food insecurity throughout Kennebec Valley. We were anxious to help, but we realized that the safety of our KLI class was important, but the safety of our community was also equally just as important. With the help of our classmate, Tarsha Riwa, we planned our project by assisting Spectrum Generations in packing meals for Meals on Wheels for homebound seniors with food insecurity. Spectrum Generations graciously opened their doors to all 13 of us without any hesitation. And boy, did they put us to work. We worked together to prepare 400 brown paper bags meals to be distributed to other various locations, help sanitize delivery bags in dining areas for lunchtime service, pack delivery bags into the vehicles for the delivery drivers, and also pack over 900 chicken pot pie meals that would be frozen and delivered at a later date. Reflecting on the community service project, it was abundantly clear that the class recognized the staff and volunteers at Spectrum Generations poured their heart and soul into what they do day in and day out. Their dedication to those in our community is nothing short of astonishing. We as a KLI class are extremely thankful for the opportunity they provided us and that they welcomed us with open arms and demonstrated the true importance of creating and maintaining a positive team environment. I personally walked away from our community service project as well as our KLI class with a stronger awareness of what it takes to create and maintain a positive team environment. This experience will always stay with me and will provide lifelong lessons that will forever follow me in my leadership journey. And I would like to finish by taking a moment to thank Jessica Norton and Kennebec Savings Bank, as well as the leadership team at Kennebec Savings Bank, the Kennebec Valley Chamber, and Jamie, for not only providing myself and my peers with this great opportunity to be a part of the Kennebec Leadership Institute, but for your continued encouragement and support throughout it. Thank you.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I told you that Zoom etiquette wasn't the only thing we learned about during our KLI experience. And I'm so happy that we all got to share just a small surface bit of what we really learned because there really was a lot of information. Great job. We are all so thankful for having the opportunity to be a part of such a wonderful program. We do have a bunch of people and organizations that this program would not be possible without. The first group of people that we would like to thank are all of those who took the time out of their busy schedules to speak to us during the panel discussions that we were able to have. During our government panel, we were fortunate to have State Senator Matt Pouliot, then State Senator and now incoming Secretary of State Shenna Bellows, State Representative Charlotte Warren, and Chair of Winthrop Town Council Sarah Fuller. From our education panel, we would like to thank Principal of Coney Middle and High School Kim Silsby, Director of Financial Aid and Senior Associate Director of Admissions at Kents Hill School, Allison Lincoln Rich, School Board Member of MSAD 11, Becky Fless, and Superintendent of RSU 2, Tanya Arnold. And the other panel that we were able to have, the manufacturing and distribution panel, we would like to thank President of Performance Food Service North Center, Michelle Pelletier, Customer Service Manager at NRF Distributors, Jonathan Stred, and owner and CFO of J.S. McCarthy Printers and Synergy Zone, Maddie Tardif. We all loved hearing about your different industries, career paths, and what leadership means to each and every single one of you. So thank you. There are a few more companies and people that none of this would be possible without either. First and foremost, Kennebec Savings Bank. Thank you for sponsoring this program and for allowing us to use your conference room at your corporate office for our in-person classes that we were able to have near the beginning of our program. J.S. McCarthy, thank you so much for printing our class workbooks, whether we remember them for class or not. Thank you. Kennebec Valley Chamber, thank you for all you do in putting this event on and hosting this outstanding program. That includes you too, Kayla. Your double duty didn't go unnoticed throughout our class. Then we would also like to thank our various employers and Synergy. Thank you for your time and investment in all of us so that we could gain leadership skills and knowledge that will strengthen not only each of ourselves, but our entire community each and every day. And last but not least, Jamie Morin. Jamie, your wealth of knowledge, calm and caring demeanor, and dedication to our class has been second to none. Despite the hurdle of having to shift to the virtual format for a good portion of the program, it really never felt like it was anything out of the ordinary. You were always prepared to guide us and lead us through it all. A true role model of leadership in a leadership course. Thank you, Jamie. Again, we thank you all for attending our virtual graduation. Be well and happy holidays. At this point, I would like to pass it back over to Chamber President Katie Doherty. Katie?
Awesome. Thank you, Johnny, and congratulations, class. That was a great presentation of everything you guys have learned. Yes, a virtual high five. I like that, Jamie. Or clap, not high five. At this point in our graduation, we would normally call everyone up to receive their certificate. We can't do that this year, but instead, we thought we would get a little creative. So let me share my screen.
Congratulations, KLI Class of 2020. I'm proud of you.
Congratulations, class of 33rd class, and I look forward to working with all of you as you get more involved in the Kennebec Valley. You have now joined an amazing group of over 450 alumni, and I hope you use them as a great network for you. Since we can't be in person to help celebrate this evening, we have another quick video from your employers, the Chamber Board Chair, and incoming Board Chair, who would also like to congratulate you on all of your hard work.
Eiley, on behalf of UMA, I want to congratulate you for completing the KLI Institute. You have great potential as a leader at UMA, and we are very proud of your success. Congratulations and well done.
Congratulations, Tanner. You have shown a real interest in learning and applying these new skills, and I am looking forward to watching you grow into your leadership role. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Josh! Hey, Josh. Just wanted to let you know what a pleasure it's been working with you.
We're all so proud of you, and I just wanted to say congratulations on your KLI graduation.
Congratulations, Alexandra.
Great job on completing KLI from your friends at KV.
Hey Jen, a big congratulations to you, our newest graduate of the KLI program. I'm so proud of you. Great job.
Congratulations, Jen. I know you worked hard. Nice job.
Congratulations, Jen. Your future is bright.
Congratulations, Jen, on your graduation from KLI.
Congratulations, Jen, on your graduation from KLI. We're super proud of you. Good job.
Congratulations, Kristen Grant, on a job well done. The fact that you're willing to put in your personal time to develop your own leadership skills makes you an invaluable member of our team. I'm incredibly proud of your accomplishments, and you and your classmates deserve extra credit for doing the COVID edition. Keep up the good work. Congratulations on your graduation from KLI.
Hey Natasha, congratulations on successfully completing KLI. I hope that you are as proud of yourself and your continued accomplishments as all of us at Kennebec Savings Bank are.
Ben, congratulations on your graduation from KLI this year. We are all very proud of the accomplishments that you have achieved this year and the value that you bring through your hard work and dedication to the department, as well as the entire KSB team. So again, congratulations and thank you so much.
Hi Kelly, congratulations on your graduation from Kennebec Leadership Institute. Kate and I, your Kennebec Valley team, are very proud of you, and we look forward to new ideas you'll bring to New Ventures, Maine. Congratulations.
Hi Tasha, congratulations on your graduation from the Kennebec Leadership Institute. Bridges Home Services and Spectrum Generations is very proud of your hard work and dedication. Congratulations.
Hey, a big shout out to the 33rd graduating class of KLI. It's Alec Rogers, owner and general manager of the Quality Inn and Suites Maine Evergreen Hotel on Whitten Road in Augusta, and the 2020 board chair of the Kennebec Valley Chamber of Commerce. We're all really proud of you and look forward to all the work you're going to do ahead. Thank you for stepping up to leadership in our community.
Hi everyone. Hey, a big shout out and congratulations to the Kennebec Leadership Institute Class of 2020 graduates. Hi, I'm Earl Kingsbury, and as incoming chairman of the board for the Kennebec Valley Chamber, I wanted to take this moment and personally recognize your accomplishments. I'm sure your employers, your friends, and your families are all very proud of you, but most importantly, you should be proud of yourselves. The Kennebec Leadership Institute provides the region with ongoing, committed professionals like yourselves. So thank you so much for getting involved. You are the future professional, community, and civic leaders in the region, and I can't wait to watch you grow. I wish you nothing but success and happiness, both professionally and personally moving forward. So once again, class of 2020, Kennebec Leadership Institute graduates, congratulations.
Congratulations, everyone. I want to thank everybody for joining us this afternoon or evening now. Thank you again to all the employers, Kennebec Savings Bank for sponsoring this great program, and to Jamie, our facilitator. It's been a great year. You guys developed. It's funny, I was thinking as I was watching your presentation, how we interacted on Zoom when we did KLI interviews at the beginning, and how your presence on Zoom as a leader and as a community member has evolved. So congratulations to all of you guys. And that is a wrap for graduation. We ended up a little early, so congratulations, everyone. Jamie, I don't know if you have any closing remarks.
Thank you, Katie, for sponsoring this program in such an unusual year, and thank you to you and Kayla for support during the program, and a special thanks to Kristen for all the support when we were on site at the bank. It was invaluable. So I'm really proud of all of you guys. Nice work.
Awesome. Well, congratulations again, guys. Please reach out to the Chamber if we can help you guys with anything. You guys were great at adapting, which is a great skill to have as a leader. So enjoy your evening. Congratulations. Go and celebrate with your family and your employers. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us tonight. See you later.